Hey guys everyone, Ryuu here, and today, I'ma do a new video. That was the weirdest intro. I apologize for that intro so wholeheartedly. My god, that was English. Anyway, so today's video, I'm gonna be talking about a bit more of a different subject than some of my other videos. Today's subject in particular is gonna be about my own personal romantic relationships I've had with other people in the past. And yes, I'm going to be including all of them, well, most of them that I've had, including a few crushes that I've had. Now, for the sake of this video, I will not be saying names of certain people in this video because, one, certain people don't need to be called out on my relationships. Like, these are personal and I don't feel that they need to be called out on. So, I don't feel that there's a necessary need for me to call these people out or anything like that, so that's unnecessary. And also these are personal, so there's no need to be like to charge Twitter for them or whatever for basically falling in love with somebody. So yeah. Anyway, so let's begin. So I want to talk about my first relationship that I've had, and yeah. Also, the reason why I want to talk about this at all, by the way, forgot to include this part, was originally because I wanted to do a Pride Month special. But unfortunately, I got to recording this video kind of late, so I ended up not being able to, record it for Pride Month. So this video is coming as a little bit of a late video for a late Pride video. So yeah, I want to talk about my first relationship first. Like, first things first, I want to talk about my first relationship, which actually ironically was with a girl. Now, this is before it came out as gay and trans. And because of that, my first relationship was ironically with a girl. Well, actually, ironically enough, before my current relationship with Roxas 13 Keys, most of my relationships were either with women or people who are kind of closely to identifying as women or whatever. I don't know. Some of my crushes were a little confusing, I guess. I don't know. Not trying to offend anybody, I swear. But regardless, my first relationship was ironically with a woman, and it lasted a day. Like, that relationship was with a girl that I didn't really know too well, if I'm honest. I just kind of hooked up with her, and the reason why is because I was kind of, I don't know why, but I was just kind of she came to me being like, I want to date you, and I was like, oh my god, somebody actually likes me that much? What the hell? And that felt super weird and really nice, because up until that point, I didn't really have very close people, I guess. I had friends and stuff, but having someone like me that much felt really, really weird to me. Because it was like, oh, okay, I didn't realize, what do I do? Like, it really genuinely confused me with how much this person claimed that they liked me. Or the fact that this person claimed that they loved me. That really confused me and threw me off my guard. So, oof. And that relationship only lasted about a day because her family turned out to be very homophobic. And at the time, they assumed, or at least she assumed, that I was female identifying when I was actually male. So yeah, and yeah, that didn't turn out very well. Obviously, obviously we broke up after like a day, and that was fun. So that was my first relationship. Now my second relationship is something that I'm unsure if I can really deep dive into, which I'm obviously not going to do that. So this second relationship I had was not the best. In fact, it led to some trauma afterwards. Or at least it definitely led to some trauma and some other things related to fuel that trauma. But basically, my first relationship was toxic, to say the least. Not a good relationship. Like, it was toxic from both ends. Like, there were things like I feel I could have done better, and there's things I feel like the girl that I was dating at the time, yes, this was another girl. This was another girl, yes. Like, I feel like the girl I was dating at the time, I feel like me and her could have done better in the relationship. because there were things that happened in that relationship that were very, very bad. And because of the stuff that happened, I'm not going to talk about it too deeply in this video. Mainly because of the fact that it's kind of sensitive topics, and it's stuff that I don't even feel like I should even talk about, even if it wasn't really that sensitive. It's stuff that I just don't feel like I should really talk about in general, well, in a public video, so that's why I'm going to keep that out. I just will say that it was kind of toxic and borderline abusive, but I can't really say that it was straight up abusive, but it was borderline. I mean, so that was unfortunate, I guess, so, yeah. But we did end up breaking up, obviously, and the way the breakup happened, like, was kind of dramatic, I guess, because I could not take any more of the pain anymore, so I broke up with her kind of dramatically, which I honestly didn't mean to do, but I was just like, oh my fucking god, I'm done. So I ended up breaking up with her kind of in a dramatic fashion. So, yeah, oof. And, yeah. And that was my second and third relationship, which were technically my 2 main relationships outside the current one I'm in. And yeah. The second, well, technically the person I next loved but never ended up being in a relationship with. Now, this next person was like, I'm still friends with this person, so I'm gonna try my best not to say anything weird or creepy. But I do remember having some strong feelings for this person in the past. However, this is basically my first rejection. And this did personally lead to some shit with me, but it honestly, now it doesn't really affect me. I don't know how to talk about this next relationship, but it's super weird now. But this next person I used to have a big crush on, and this... I don't know how to talk about this, oh my god. But basically, yeah, I used to have a crush on one of my current friends, and it was so weird now thinking about it. And because of my previous relationship, it was so damn difficult for me to come out to this person and be like, I love you. Like, it was so insanely hard for me to do that. Hell, even with my current relationship, it was hard for me to come out to my boyfriend that I actually loved. It took me a month, literally. But this crush I had was like, I legit waited an entire, like, almost nearly about, I want to say close to a year, like a few months short of a year before I went up to him and was like, hey dude, I love you. I legit waited a fucking year before I decided to be like, I love you. Like, that was so, like, I don't know, like, and I feel like the reason why I struggled so much telling this dude that I loved him was because of the fact that, like mainly because I was starting to experience some pretty hefty emotions when it came to, like, loving emotions. And when it came to those emotions, it was just really difficult to deal with, like, insanely difficult. And it got even worse when he ended up rejecting me. Like, that did not make anything easier, especially for me, because it just made things a lot more difficult, actually. Honestly, and oof. But then my next relationship, which actually did happen, came in. This one, I'm not even sure if I can really count as a relationship, because nothing really happened, nor was it really very lovey-dovey. Like, it was, like, I call it my most boring relationship that I ever had, honestly. And it was between me and, ironically, another girl, which is super ironic. I needed to learn my sexuality really early on, and I was so confused at this point. Yeah, but basically, I was in a relationship with another girl, and oh my god, was she boring. Well, she wasn't boring, it was just the relationship was honestly more boring, and I don't even know what I can talk about in this part of the video. But ironically, the girl that I was dating at this time, like, the relationship was boring, by the way. By the way, I'm not saying that she was boring, I'm saying the relationship itself was kind of boring, to say the least. So, oof. And I remember her, like, I remember before we even got into a relationship, we were actually very close friends. Like, insanely close. Like, we were really good friends. Until I learned that she was actually kind of not the kindest. It's like, she was actually kind of mean a little bit, like internally. Like, she was the type of person where if she had a crush on you, and you're already dating someone, she would attack your crush. She would attack your girlfriend slash boyfriend or whatever you're dating. Like, she was that type of person, and that was like, oh boy. Now, I'm not gonna say names on what happened, but that was basically kind of her vibe, I guess I got it from her. But yeah. Oh dear. And yeah, that's really all I can say about that one in particular. Or she was just kind of iffy, to say the least. But yeah, she was one of my old friends, but unfortunately we're not friends anymore, so oof, oh well, I don't care. But yeah. I don't know, I also remember she was a very jealous person, so that's another oof, I guess. And then comes my fifth relationship. The fifth relationship in before I realized I was fucking gay. Or poly, I should say, not gay, but whatever. I like to say gay because it's easier. Like, my fifth relationship in is when I started realizing I do not like girls, which is super ironic. I keep saying that, but whatever, it still is. It was like my fifth relationship in is when I actually started to realize that I didn't really like girls all that much, and I really only liked guys. And this is because I took a long ass break from relationships altogether, because it was starting to mix with my own head, and I actually started to feel this thing called philophobia, which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically the fear of love. And I started to kind of understand that this is where my emotions are starting to lead up to. So I decided, alright, I'm going to take a step back, I'm going to chill, and I'm not going to get into another relationship that's going to last like only a few months. So I'm going to get into a relationship that I actually can trust the other person I'm going to be with. And so I waited for a long time to see if I could find that one person that actually made me feel like a fucking human being. So I waited and I waited and I waited, and then I started to feel these feelings for one guy in particular. You might be already able to guess who that guy is. It's like I started to feel these feelings for this guy, and they were so, like, I actually felt kind of like happy around him. And I was like, oh my god, I feel happy around this guy. And I was like, it was super weird, because, like, I started remembering, like, and this was, like, this is hard to talk about. Love is one of those things that's really hard for me to talk about for some reason. I don't know why. But legit, though, I started feeling these very happy emotions around this guy. And I started feeling very comfortable, I guess it's the best word I can describe it. And honestly, it was starting to make me feel very, very happy about myself and whatnot. And then eventually, I decided, like, after a month of realizing I had these feelings and they wouldn't go away, was, alright, fuck it. I'm gonna tell this man I love him. I'm gonna tell this man I fucking love him. And that's what I did. And that's what I did to Roxas freaking Keith, who I'm still gonna call you out on being my boyfriend. That is the weirdest thing to call someone out on. I don't know. Anyway, he's my boyfriend. I don't know. But basically, yeah. Basically, long story short, I decided to try and reconnect with those feelings of romance, and decided to basically, I don't know why I kept saying call out. I decided to try and, see if, like, maybe this guy will actually be different compared to my other exes and stuff. Like, maybe he'll be actually different. And I was so insanely scared. I actually literally asked a few of my friends around, like, is this okay? Like, I was so scared of going to terms with my emotions that I was actually terrified to tell him up front that, like, I love him. And I was so terrified. I don't even, like, legit, I was scared to the point where, like, I wasn't even sure how I was going to go about it. So I literally just messaged him, just going to be like, hey, how are you? He's like, oh, I'm doing good. He's like, oh, by the way, I like you, like, a lot, like, or something like that. And like, that's basically what started off mine and Rox's like relationship mainly. Was basically me confessing to him, and that, hey, I like you, dude. And I remember at first, apparently, and according to him, this is his words, by the way, I'm gonna call him out on this. He apparently at first thought it was an April Fool's Day joke, and I didn't realize what the date was of our relationship, of our anniversary. I didn't realize that the date was literally April fucking Fool's Day. Or at least not April, no, it was a day before April's Fool's Day. April Fool's Day. It was a day before April's Fool's Day. When I decided to confess to him, and I didn't realize that it was the day before that day, and I didn't realize it was the day before April Fool's Day, and I was like, oh, fuck me. So yeah, that's literally our anniversary, is the day before April Fool's Day. Fuck me. So yeah, and basically, yeah, I didn't realize that's where we go. And as of right now, I can easily say without a shadow of a doubt, that mine and Roxas's relationship has actually been probably the happiest relationship I've actually been in so far. And I don't even want to say so far, because I feel like that our relationship is just so happy I don't want to do anything with it. Or not, I shouldn't say that. I don't want to like end it. Like, it's just, I feel so, like, he's like the only person I've actually been in a relationship with that's actually made me feel happy about myself. And it feels fucking amazing. Like, it feels like, I just, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm freaking out too much. But basically, mine and his relationship is like one of the few that actually makes me feel like I'm alive. Like, it actually makes me feel very happy and gave me a completely different perspective on the subject of love as a whole. Like, it basically told me that love isn't this toxic, messy thing. It can actually be something that you can actually feel and experience its true joy in. It's just you have to be very careful about who the fuck you find. And I learned that a hard way. Like, you never want to rush a relationship. You never want to force yourself into one that's like you're not sure about fully. Always, like, be careful and find the person that you actually love. And that's basically what I did with Roxas. And, well, I don't regret our relationship at all. In fact, if anything, I would like to advance it maybe someday with them. Obviously not right now because of pandemic and money and other things. Like other stuff right now, but I genuinely feel really happy around him, and he genuinely makes me feel like an actual human being. And that actually makes me feel genuinely really, like he makes me feel happy, and that's something I really wanted in a relationship. And honestly, if you ask me, I don't give two shits about money. If the dude can, like, keep me happy by just being nice, and that's all that really matters to me, really. And yeah, and that's basically all I can really say about Roxas is like well, those are the main things I can say about. I can say a lot more about him, but really though, like, he makes me feel happy and like a fucking human, and that's something I wanted for so long. And it honestly is an amazing feeling once you find someone that actually treats you like a human being, rather than, I don't know, like an object, or you're like non-existent at all. Which I might do a video about that eventually, but I don't know. But that's all for this time. I know it's kind of like an abrupt ending thing, but that is basically what my thoughts are on mainly love as a whole, but romance as too. And yeah, and that's kind of the main thing I want to talk about in this video, is just my personal relationships with other people, which I know is a weird video topic, but I figured why not, so yay. So yeah, and special message out to Roxas. Dude, I fucking love you, dude. You make me feel like a human, and I fucking love you for that. Also, thank you for the... Fuck! Okay, that's going in... Okay, that's saying in. I'm keeping that shit in. Okay. Alright, thank you for the plushie, Roxas. Oh, fuck! Okay, I'm gonna fix that eventually. Anyway, I I'm gonna hold on to the plushie for now. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all dudes in the next video. Peace out. Fucking love you, dude.